Hi, everyone. The purpose of the naturalization interview is to verify the information provided on the N-400 application. The interview also allows the USCIS officer to ask questions about aspects of the application that seem unclear to them. Generally, the green card holder will also be evaluated on their ability to understand, speak, read, and write the English language at the citizenship interview. They will also be tested on the knowledge of U.S. history and government. Many people get nervous when it's finally time to attend their U.S. citizenship interview. To avoid leaving a piece of essential evidence at home when you go to your interview, you should store your documents in one place. By creating a folder or envelope of all of your documents for the citizenship interview, you can just grab the whole file and take it with you to the interview. There are several documents that are necessary for all general applicants to bring, and there may be a few other pieces of evidence that are required in special circumstances. Here is the most common items needed at the U.S. citizenship interview. You should bring the following with you: an interview appointment notice, your lawful permanent resident card, your state-issued photo ID such as a driver's license, travel documents and both current or expired passports, evidence to prove your current marital status if applicable, like marriage certificate, divorce decree. Depending on each applicant's circumstance, specific evidence may be necessary to bring to their interview. Applicants who apply for citizenship through marriage to a U.S. citizen. If you filed your application based on a 3-year marriage to a U.S. citizen, you should bring evidence to prove that you have been married for at least 3 years. Your spouse has been a U.S. citizen for at least 3 years, and you have been lived together for at least 3 years. Such documentation may include joint tax returns, joint lease agreements, joint bank statements, joint mortgage, jointly owned property, family plan health insurance, vehicle insurance, etc. You will need to bring your marriage certificate as well as termination documents of prior marriages of either of you, if any. Moreover, if you are married to a U.S. citizen that is living and working abroad, you will need to show evidence of your spouse's employment in a foreign country. Applicants who have dependent children living apart. You have dependent children living apart from you. You should bring evidence that you support each dependent child and that you have complied with child support obligations. Bring copies of court or government order and evidence that you have complied with such order, for example, payment records or wage garnishments. Applicants who have any trip outside the U.S. for more than 6 months. If you have any trip outside the U.S. for more than 6 months in the last 5 years, or 3 years if filing for naturalization on the basis of marriage to a U.S. citizen, you must bring documents during the absence to prove that you maintained your conscious residence in the United States. Such documentation may include tax return, rent, or mortgage payment records, bank, credit card, or other loan transaction records, car registration and insurance policy, payroll record from a U.S. employer. Failure to provide such evidence will cause a denial to your naturalization application. Applicants who have arrest or criminal history. If you have ever been arrested, detained, or convicted anywhere in the world by any law enforcement officer for any reason, no matter a charge was filed against you or not, no matter the case was vacated, set aside, sealed, expunged, or otherwise removed from your record or not, you must bring official document related to it. You do not have to submit documentation for traffic fines or incidents that did not involve an arrest, serious injury to another person, or drugs or alcohol, if the only penalty was a fine of less than $500. Applicants who have obligation of selective service registration. All male U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents who lived in the United States any time between their 18th and 26th birthdays must register with the Selective Service. In other words, if you obtain your lawful permanent resident status after 26 years of age, you are not required to register. If you are required to register, you should bring a proof of Selective Service registration to your N-400 interview. If you were required to register but failed to do so, you should provide a statement explaining why you did not register and provide a status information letter from the Selective Service. Applicant who are current or former members of the Armed Forces, the same as when you completed your N-400 form. If you do or have ever served in a branch of the United States military, such as the Army, Navy, Air Force, or Marines, you will need to bring extra documents to your naturalization interview. For example, if you applied for citizenship based on military service, but you are no longer serving, you should bring your discharge papers to the naturalization interview. If you are currently active in the armed forces, you should take a copy of your current military orders with you to the appointment.